So I would just say, as mothers, don't take it out on your kids, because they're victims too. Because it's not just in an abuse situation, is the actual person that's being abused is not the only victim. It's the people having to watch it. It's the kids that are seeing their dad or mom put their hands on the other parent. It's the family members who have to watch their loved one go through it. Everybody plays a part in this. So everybody's feelings need to be taken into consideration. So understand that your kids need you just as much as you need them, because one of my biggest comforts was knowing that I had my kids. So I always made sure that regardless of what was going on, we had our bond, and they knew that no matter what, I was going to love them. I would never take it out on them. I would never direct any of my pain towards them, because they didn't have anything to do with this.
Welcome to Workshop Wednesday. Welcome to We Work Every Day. 7 days a week, cause we striving towards a better day. Don't cut me down for showing my true colors. Love me for me, cause I show love to others. This is for entrepreneurship, for Black Lives Matter. This is for the ones who are forgotten. I pray we never go backwards. This is for pushing forward in the face of adversity. Thank you, God, for protection when the world was cursing me. This is for strength, courage, and wisdom. They can't keep us in shackles. You're the one that could change the trajectory of those family matters. Be the first college grad, be the first millionaire. Be your own wildest dreams, cause the world ain't fair.
And I never once made them think their dad was a bad person. I never talked bad to them, because like you said, kids love both their parents unconditionally, no matter what. And I've always told my kids, whatever decision you make towards your parents and how you feel about them will be based on your own observations and what you see and what you learn, not because I'm telling you to.
That is very good. And I know that is very challenging to be able to do that. Because like I said, I've been on both sides of the coin. And then I've also, just been in different conversations. And that's not always, it's easier said than done.
Mm-hmm. It's hard. It takes a lot of strength, even just parenting, period. It takes a lot of strength for a parent. Because one thing I know is parents, we like to feel like we have the power, and our kids, sometimes we treat our kids as if they're really beneath us. And the one thing I've learned in this situation, it has taught me to become a better parent and to build relationships with my kids, and not just think that I'm the parent, everything I say goes, and everything, and they're going to respect me no matter what, because respect goes both ways. And to get it, you have to give it. And so I've always, one thing my kids will say is they can come talk to me about anything. I give them the same respect that I want them to give me. And I always take their feelings into consideration. I never, discredit anything because I feel like I'm the parent and it's my voice. Only my voice matters. That's not fair. Because again, I never want my kids to shut down and not be able to come to me, especially in a situation like this, where they may be getting bullied or being abused or being anything traumatic that's happening to them. They can't come to me, because I've always made them feel like I'm the big bad wolf and their thoughts or feelings don't matter.
Yes. I think it's in this book, The Habits of Highly Effective Teens, and it talks about seek to be heard, or seek to be understood. And those are very good words of wisdom, because we have to seek to be understood, and seek to be heard at the same time. What are some of the current challenges that you see in this particular area in terms of raising African American male children, you know, at, as also, going through domestic violence, and them seeing that? What are some of the current challenges?
Well, I know for one, it's already hard to raise male children in this society. Being a single mother is hard raising, because they always say women can't raise a man. And so that's one thing that we have to try to overcome. And it's like we're proving to society that as a woman, we can raise a man by ourselves. And so that's one. And then the fact that having to remind them or worry about them going out there into the world, knowing that what we see and what we're hearing on TV, how our Black boys and our Black men are being shot just for no reason at all. That's challenging. That's worrisome. I try to be I have a son. He'll be 17 in March, and I have like a tight grip on him, and I try not to be, because I know he's got to grow up and I got to let him go. But at the same time, I'm just worried with him being out in this world. And also, he was one of my children for the longest time that witnessed a lot of my abuse. So I also have to be mindful and I have to have check-ins with him, because he also has experienced some trauma from that. And so that, on top of being a single mom, trying to raise a Black man and trying to protect him from the outside world, and then the fact that he's also traumatized from seeing his mom being abused for years, it's hard. But I just try to remember that I'm strong, and my kids are strong, and everything works out the way it's supposed to. And what I'm doing it has a greater purpose to it. And so I just keep going, and I just keep doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I keep praying, and I just keep holding them tight and praying for them, and just making sure that we stay covered all the time.
Now, you just being here and being on this platform is testimony enough, because you are stating that you went through a relationship that was abusive and did this for 16 years. You have 3 beautiful children, and you have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, and you are working on a master's degree, and you have written a book. When I say, look, if that's not badass, I don't know what is. I mean, and you're still walking around here smiling. So just
Aww.
the fact that you're a testimony to so many people, you have no idea. So just that in itself, that just gives someone else the courage to know that they too can do it.
Right. And see, a lot of times people just see the end. They don't see what happened before all they see is oh, wow, she's doing so wonderful now. And so that was another reason why I wanted to write my book. And because I wanted people to see that I know, from the looks of it, especially Facebook, everybody's looking like, oh, she's doing great. Her life is wonderful. Her life has changed. She's got this going on. She's got this and that. But I wanted people to know that I didn't just have that 4 or 5 years ago. 4 or 5 years ago, I didn't have anything but my kids and a job, and I was being abused verbally, emotionally, physically, daily. So, but all that to say that even though I went through all of that, I still came out of it in the end greater, stronger, more wise and smarter. And now I'm able to recognize some things that I couldn't recognize before, red flags and signs, and now when I see things that don't feel good right here, I'm immediately turned off by it. I'm like, no, I'm not going that route.
Right. You see the things that are like triggers also, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you led to the next question. What are some strategies that your parents use to allow you to be able to walk in that freedom and salvation, to know that you're walking in your purpose? Right now, parents need to know how to encourage greatness, because one thing you mentioned in your book is, even though the abuser was a certain way, you had a very loving family, a very forgiving family.
Especially my mom.
Yeah.
Especially my mom. See, my mom is the like I'm sure we all feel about our moms, most of us at least. My mom is my rock. I don't know where I would be without her. She's in it when I'm bad. She's in it when I'm good. When I'm high, when I'm low, she's there. She's unchanging. Like she, if if we argue today, tomorrow, she's still gonna be there for me no matter what. And so just knowing that I have that, and even though there were times when I felt like my life wasn't going the way I wanted to go, or I felt like I was foolish or embarrassed or ashamed, she always reminded me that it's okay. I'm not. She still loves me no matter what. And so, like, I get a lot of my loving habits from her. That unconditional love, I think it really came from her. And so I kind of, that's how I am with my kids. No matter what, I'm always making sure that they know that I'm here for them. It's okay. We are human. We're gonna make mistakes. That's what life is about. If you fall down, you just get back up and keep going. If it hurts, fix it, put a band-aid on it, and keep going. Don't let your setbacks, don't let your trials, and don't let, because everything that we go through is for us to grow through. And so I try to make sure I tell my kids that on a day-to-day basis. Remember, and then I always encourage them to make today better than yesterday. Whatever you did yesterday, just try to make it better today. And that's how my kids are, and I love them for that, because when they do certain things, I know it's coming from something that I've said, or something that a way that I've made them feel. Like my kids can come tell me anything, and they'll, like my oldest son, he'll tell me, just text me out of the blue when he's at school, Mom, I got a 68 on a test, but it was 2 points away from a 70, and I didn't even read the book or read the material. And that, I know some parents probably like, that's a 68, that's an F, but I'm like, for me, that's growth, because now instead of him beating himself down about the 68, he's knowing that he's saying to himself that I did good, and then I know I'll do better on the next time, the next test. So as a parent, we have to remember that if you want your kids to be great, it starts from you. They have to see greatness. They have to know they can be great. And as kids, we're all they have. If you want, you can let them go out there in the world and let the world teach them how to be great, or let the world, but it starts at the house, starts inside the home. You be their first teacher. You let them know what it is and what it ain't. You were, like I said, upset. And so when my kids do leave the house every day, I know that they're leaving with good kids every morning when they come. Be better than yesterday. And like I said, sometimes they text me those things back, and I'm like, oh, thank you. You're muted.
Yeah, because while you were talking, I was trying to like take notes, because one thing you said that I love to hear was everything, things you go through, you grow through.
Everything we go through, it's for us to grow through. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like I said, the things that you're saying, and we put a lot of pressure on our children. I think it's probably just me to just try to be this perfect person, but there are none of those people here. Like,
yeah,
they're not, and you just gotta let them be themselves, and they will be great. And like you say,
you have to let them be them. Mm-hmm.
And the thing about it, the world is gonna accept them and mold them in any shape, form, or fashion. But if we do it, we're gonna mold them to greatness. So what advice would you give parents and teachers to support our students that are struggling to find the strength to leave domestic violence situations? And not just the students, parents that may be struggling to leave domestic situations, what they're seeing right now, because like I said, the
Yeah.
whole thing is bringing out a whole different animal. So what advice would you give them for those struggling to make that decision?
Just be there to support them, even if even though sometimes not be in the parents' business or not try to influence them from get information from them. But if I've always been that one to, if I see a kid or if I see a parent just not being themselves or looking down, or I always wanted to know, to try to help them, not to be in their business, but just to encourage them, because you never know what one small conversation can do for somebody. And so just encourage them and let them know that they always have support, even if they, even if, because some people can't talk to their family. Some people can't go to their loved ones. So a stranger is their next best option. So just to be there, if you see children, always make sure kids are all right, because anyways, that they're not going to be able to learn, or they're not even going to be focused throughout the school day if their mind is on something else. So just always be there for support no matter what.
Well, thank you so much for your time and working through all of the technical difficulties and my mishaps with the record button. Lord have mercy. Everybody
We
watching
made it through though.
yes, we did. Everybody watching this, go out and purchase this phenomenal book, His Weapon of Choice, written by Latricia Jones. I'm pretty sure there's going to be another book coming out about raising children during adversity and how to press forward and get your education and go on to the next level, because that is, we don't know how she did it, but she did it. She did the doggone thing. But some of us
Thank
need a
you.
roadmap. We don't know how to do it. We doing the best we can with what we got, right? So
Well, that's actually that, and you're right. Even I need a roadmap. I sometimes have to have a life coach, and so that's actually my next uh thing I'm working on. I'm gonna working on starting my coaching business. So in the next couple months, don't be surprised if you hear me or see me on Facebook promote my coaching business to help survivors and those who, well, everybody, because everybody has survived something. So that's, you're right. Everybody needs a roadmap, and sometimes that roadmap is a coach.
yeah, and I have a coach right now, and it's like he tells me, "Now, Keisha, how are you finding time to take care of you?" He said, "Just turn your phone off on Sunday," and I'm like, "I can't do it." Kids are gonna need me. He said, "Turn it off."
I know.
So just we need those reminders. We need those people. So like I said, your book is amazing. Much
Thank you.
success. Amazed and grateful just to be able to see all of the things God is doing with you and for you, and just grateful that He's given me a front row seat to see it. And I'm just
Aww. Well,
appreciative
buckle
of
up.
that. Yeah, I'm ready. I got my spacesuit on. I want to see the whole thing. I want to go in the atmosphere with you. So
I know. Come
congratulations,
on now. Thank you. I appreciate it.
because your son should be graduating next year, right?
Yes, this is his junior year, so next year he's on. And like you said, all our kids are not like us. Some of our kids are not perfect. So he's the one. He's like, "Ma, I just want to be a firefighter. I don't want to go to college." So I'm like, "Okay, you can be
Yeah,
a firefighter."
yeah. My son is graduating this year, and he told me, I was like, "Look, you got three options: get a job, join the military, or go to college. But staying here rent free is not an option for you,
That
son."
ain't the one.
Yeah.
That ain't the one.
He told me he was gonna join the Navy. So I said,
Okay.
well, yeah, I can deal with that. So we working on that.
Yeah.
But you do it because
Aw.
they never know until that day before school starts the next year. So we shall see.
I know.
But congratulations and thank you for taking out your time. And I look
You're
forward
welcome.
to collaborating with you again in the future.
Me too. Hopefully soon we'll get together and think of something or come together with some big idea.
Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Continue to support Workshop Wednesday and continue to encourage all those that you see to press forward during this time. Thank you for tuning in. Dr. Kiki signing out. Stay tuned on next week where we will bring you more of H-Town's finest. Take care. God bless.
Courage and wisdom, they can't keep us in shackles. You're the one that could change the trajectory of those family matters. Be the first college grad, be the first millionaire. Be your own wildest dreams, cause the world ain't fair. I am the greatest, I am the one.